I planned to do just one problem, but this is 0 to hide, so I just didn't stop. But hours later, I had done 8. Not to flex, just to prove I could stay in the game. Here's the full messy journey, raw, real, and a little dumb sometimes. There is an array of citations given to us, and we have to find an h index of that array. Maximum value of h such that the given researcher has published h papers and each has been cited at least h times. I have to just sort this citations array in descending order, and then I just have to compare the condition citation of I less than I plus 1. So that condition confused me for a long time. So I had to dry run the example. After dry running, I understood that the condition should be citations of I less than I plus 1, and after that we just have to return the value of I. So it was kind of tricky, but a very short answer. I just had to merge two sorted arrays. I was given arrays nums1 and nums2. Nums1 had enough size such that it could accommodate nums2 in it. So I just had to put the values of nums2 in nums1 and then sort the whole array. It should have been easy with the formula nums1 of m plus I equal to nums2 of I. So that nums2 will get inserted at the back and then we can just sort it. But I got a error. Why? Because I put the wrong size of array in the for loop, which caused an array out of index problem. So it took me longer to spot than I'd like to admit. I think this was one of the easiest of these bunch of problems. I just had to sort colors which were renamed as digits, like I had to sort an array of zeros, ones, and twos. The main conditions were that I had to do it in place and without using the library function of sorting. So I just implemented a simple bubble sort and the question was done. This was also a simple question. I just had to return the kth largest element. So the logic was simple, that I would sort the array in descending order. The largest numbers will be at the start. And if I have to return the kth number, means it is on the k minus 1 index, like third number is on second index. It was easy, just I had to know about that descending order function. We just had to introduce another argument, that is greater int, so that the sort function sorts in descending order. So there were no bugs, no errors, it was just smooth typing. So now the maximum gap problem. Here I was given an unsorted array of numbers. In this, I had to find the maximum gap between two sorted numbers in this array. So what we had to do, first of all, we have to sort. So we use the sort function from the library. So first of all, we took an integer max, initialized with int min. It will store the maximum gap value. And after the sort, we looped through the sorted array and we compared the difference between I and I plus 1, that is the two consecutive numbers, with the value max. And if it was greater than max, we just replaced max with it and we kept going till we reached the end, and after that we just returned the max value. So it was simple, but the problem arrived while I was writing the code. I ran the loop till the whole size, and as I was checking for I plus 1, I accessed the value which was out of the array, which caused an error. These are happening many times while I am solving, so I should try to avoid that. Now, the intersection of two arrays question. Here we were given two unsorted arrays, and we had to return all the elements of those array which were common. So this one made me grind. It looked easy, but I had a hard time finding the conditions for the arrays. So in this, I first time used the two pointer approach, where I took two pointers I and j, and I iterated them through both the arrays. And what I did was that, based on the comparison between the ith element of first array and jth element of second array, I incremented the respective pointers. And if the value was equal, then I pushed it back in an vector, and after the whole loop runs out of the values, I just return that vector with the intersection. So it was kind of tricky because I had not used the two pointer approach earlier. and I had to think about how to implement those conditions. But in the end, I did it. Is find the difference question. So this was an interesting question because there were two strings and one string had an extra letter, or you can say character, and I had to just return that character. This one made me overthink. I was thinking like using an hash map to store all the values of those two strings in the map, and the letter will not have an even count, will be the letter which is not common in both. If s appears two times in both, its count will be 4. It can never be odd. So I stored all the values in the hash map, then I returned the character whose count was odd. So I implemented this, it ran, but then I found another type of answer. I just sorted both the strings and then I used a loop to check if the corresponding indexes match. If they match, it means that it is okay. And if it doesn't match, then I just had to return that character because that character was different. So it was kind of a simple answer to and in the end, I implemented both of them. The majority element, this was very easy question. I just had to put the values in a hash map and then just had to loop through the whole hash map to find which was the maximum count, and just had to return the key for that maximum count, and the majority element was found. So it was a very simple question. 8 problems, a couple of wins, a couple of dumb mistakes, but I showed up and I kept going. That's what I'm chasing. Not perfection, just consistency. Tomorrow, I don't know what's coming, but I'll be back. Stay tuned.